Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am V. Ravi Kumar and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says providing maximum opportunities to the youth is always the BJP's top priority. Addresses party's youth rally virtually at Midday in Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister says government allocated 14,000 crore rupees for the national highways in Himachal Pradesh. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to address the UN General Assembly's high-level session tonight. 32 countries, including India, call for urgent and comprehensive reforms in the UN Security Council. President Draupadi Murmu confers NSS Awards 2020-21 at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankad expresses confidence on India becoming third largest economy in the world by the end of this decade. Home Minister Amit Shah says Naxalism on the brink of ending in Bihar and Jharkhand regions due to tough fight by Seema Suraksha Bal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And most successful woman bowler Jhulon Goswami to play her last match at the Lords today as India and England lock horns in the third and last ODI of the series. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India is benefiting from the enthusiasm and skills of the youth of Himachal Pradesh. He added that it was BJP's priority to further encourage them. He was virtually addressing a youth rally organized by the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha today at Paddal Maidan in Mandi, Himachal Pradesh. Providing maximum opportunities to the youth has always been the BJP's top priority, said Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister said that Himachal has played a significant role in the progress of India's development and freedom movement.
पहाड़ी गांधी, बाबा कांसीराम समेत हिमाचल के अनेक सेनानियों ने आजादी के आंदोलन में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। आजादी के तुरंत बाद जम्मू कश्मीर पर हुए हमले से लेकर करगिल युद्ध तक हिमाचल के जांबाजों ने सर्वोच्च बलिदान देकर मां भारती का सिर ऊंचा रखा है। देश की रक्षा के साथ साथ देश को सम्मान दिलाने वाले में भी हिमाचल के युवा कमाल करते रहे हैं.
Mr. Modi stated the voters of Himachal have reposed faith in BJP in continuous elections. The Prime Minister further added that the youth has the highest representation in BJP and this rally is a symbol of youth power. The Prime Minister stated that the energy of the youth of Himachal is being continuously harnessed for the country. Mr. Modi said the government has taken many positive steps to revive tourism after COVID.
हमारे विदेश नीति का एक अहम पहलू क्या रहा? हमने कई देशों के साथ ई वीजा शुरू किया. ई वीजा के सबसे बड़ा लाभ टूरिज्म को होता है. कोरोना की मुश्किल से टूरिज्म सेक्टर जल्द से जल्द बाहर निकल सके, इसके लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार और खास करके हिमाचल की सरकार ने टीकाकरण का अभियान जो सफलतापूर्वक चलाया, उसने देश भर के और विदेशों के टूरिस्टों को भी एक विश्वास दिया कि हिमाचल सेफ है.
The Prime Minister mentioned that the Union government has allocated 14,000 crore rupees for national highways in Himachal Pradesh. We also brought the facility of ropeway along with developing villages near the border areas, said the Prime Minister. He also informed that they have also approved the proposal to add the Hatti community in the list of STs in the state. The Prime Minister had to cancel his visit to Himachal's Mandi due to inclement weather. While virtually addressing the rally in Mandi, the Prime Minister Modi said he could not attend the event due to bad weather. Ahead of his rally in Mandi, the Prime Minister had tweeted that he was looking forward to be among the energetic workers, part of the country's young workforce, for whom his government has taken various initiatives. A team of the Election Commission of India led by Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar and Election Commissioner Anup Chandra Pandey reviewed poll preparedness for the forthcoming assembly elections in Himachal Pradesh yesterday. They held meetings in Shimla with representatives of various political parties and nodal officers of the State Police and Central Armed Police Forces yesterday. The Chief Election Commissioner also launched the chatbot Voter Sathi, an online election quiz for voter awareness.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will address the high-level session of the 77th United Nations General Assembly today. Dr. Jaishankar is leading the India delegation for the high-level week at the United Nations General Assembly. The theme of 77th UNGA is a watershed moment, transformative solutions to interlocking challenges. The minister has been participating in plurilateral meetings of the Quad, BRICS and other trilateral formats, as well as bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the summit. The External Affairs Minister participated in the India-Australia-France Foreign Ministers Trilateral last night. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said the meeting was useful in promoting cooperation in Indo-Pacific issues as well as at the global level. He also participated in the India-CARICOM ministerial meeting. The minister said India-CARICOM is a true example of South-South solidarity. During the meeting, they discussed development partnership, health cooperation, digital linkages and capacity building. The Caribbean Community, CARICOM, is an intergovernmental organization that is a political and economic union of 15 member states throughout the Caribbean. Dr. S. Jaishankar also met his counterparts from the US, Australia and Japan in New York yesterday to deepen Quad multilateral cooperation in support of advancing a free and open Indo-Pacific. The ministers reaffirmed the conviction that international law, peace and security in the maritime domain underpins the development and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific. A joint readout following the Quad ministerial meeting said they strongly oppose any unilateral actions that seek to change the status quo or increase tensions in the region. They also reaffirmed unwavering support for ASEAN unity and centrality, ASEAN-led regional architecture, and practical implementation of ASEAN's outlook on the Indo-Pacific. 32 countries, including India, have called for urgent and comprehensive reforms in UN Security Council in order to adapt the United Nations to contemporary world realities. In a joint statement, the countries said they stand united as a group of pro-reform, like-minded states which are determined to work towards a more inclusive, responsive and participatory international governance architecture. The signatories of the joint statement recognized that lack of progress in Security Council reform has serious implications for global peace and security and delivering on the purposes, principles and promises of the United Nations Charter.
President Draupadi Murmu today conferred the National Service Scheme NSS Awards for the year 2020-21 at Rashtrapati Bhavan. A total of 42 awards were given today. 2 universities, 10 NSS units, their program officers and 30 NSS volunteers received the awards. The Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur, Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports Nishith Pramanik, Youth Affairs Secretary Sanjay Kumar along with other dignitaries were present on this occasion. The Department of Youth Affairs of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports confers every year the National Service Scheme Award. Awards are conferred to recognize and reward outstanding contributions towards voluntary community service made by universities and colleges, plus 2 councils, senior secondary, NSS units, program officers and NSS volunteers with a view to further promote NSS in the country. NSS is a central sector scheme that was launched in the year 1969 with the primary objective of developing the personality and character of the student youth through voluntary community service. The ideological orientation of the NSS is inspired by the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi. Very appropriately, the motto of NSS is not me, but you. Swayam se pehle aap. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar today expressed confidence that India will become the 3rd largest economy in the world by the end of this decade, underlining that every section of the society, including farmers, labourers and marginalized people, have contributed to the progress of the country. Mr. Dhankar said the government's initiatives of free LPG connection, the opening of bank accounts for the poor and free ration to around 90 crore people during COVID-19 are based on Gandhian thinking. He was addressing the Sadbhavana Sammelan in New Delhi for commemorating the 90th foundation day of Harijan Sevak Sangh founded by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi.
हमारी शासन व्यवस्था देखिए, कोविड के 2 साल के दौरान 90 करोड़ जनता को गांधी जी का सिद्धांत ध्यान में रखते हुए मुफ्त अनाज दिया गया। ये दुनिया के किसी भी देश की कल्पना के बाहर। इतनी बड़ी महामारी के दौरान ये विचार लाना कि 136 करोड़ को 2 वैक्सीन लगेंगे, दिल दह जाता है, ये कर दिखाया।
The Vice President also stressed the need to develop the Harijan Sevak Sangh premises as the main center of Gandhian work. The organization was established by Mahatma Gandhi in 1932 with a mission to eradicate untouchability and create a society free from all kinds of injustice, indignity and discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, gender and race. Here is a special report on Harijan Sevak Sangh.
कि अस्पृश्यता की जड़ हर एक हिंदू के दिल में से निकल जाए तो हम बहुत ऊंचे चले जाएंगे।
Bapu considered the practice of untouchability as a curse and fought for years and years to eradicate it. In his struggle, Harijan Sevak Sangh became the pivot. After the Pune Pact, Mahatma Gandhi laid the foundation of this pan-India organization in 1932 for the social and economic empowerment of the marginalized people. Its headquarters, located at Kingsway Camp in Delhi, was a major center of the fight against untouchability, where Bapu spent a long time between 1930 and 1940. Mahatma Gandhi's granddaughter and chairman of National Gandhi Museum, Tara Gandhi, who spent her childhood in the premises of Harijan Sevak Sangh, recalls her memories.
बापू जी और बा आए, क्या खुशी थी हमारी ये। और मैं और राजमोहन, मुझे याद है एक फोटो भी है जहाँ बापू जी ने सर्दी के दिन ही रहे होंगे, क्योंकि चादर से हम दोनों को अपनी गोदी में बिठा के लपेटा हुआ था। और हम तो इतने मस्त थे और जंगलों में खेलने जाते थे, लेकिन बा और बापूजी के रहते हुए माँ को एक चिंता सताती थी। लेकिन मैं और मोहन जाते थे, अपने कपड़े बहुत गंदे करके आते थे और माँ हमें साफ करने में लग जाती थी, क्योंकि बा और बापूजी आए थे, उनको सफाई पसंद थी और हमें लगता था हम कब जाके बाकी गोदी में बैठ जाएं।
Bapu established an all-religion prayer temple at the premises, where prayers for harmony used to be held every morning. Sharing her curiosity during the construction of this site, Tara Gandhi spoke about the excitement she, along with her brothers, had at that time.
मैं, राजमोहन और रामचंद्र, हम लोग उसके साक्षी थे जब मंदिर बन रहा था और उसके समाप्ति के हम आतुरता से इंतजार कर रहे थे। वहाँ पे मार्तन भाई वो आके उसमें चित्रकला करने वाले थे अंदर से दीवारों पर, और वो रंग सीढ़ी पर चढ़ के करते थे। और मुझे और मोहन को उन्होंने कहा, तुम तख्ते में रंग लेके खड़ी हो जाओ, तुमसे ले लेके मैं रंग लगाऊंगा। तो हमें तो इतनी खुशी हुई थी जैसे वो पेंटिंग्स मैंने ही बनाई। तो अभी भी मैं जब जाती हूँ तो चित्रों को देखती हूँ, अद्भुत है वो। कुछ उसमें बौद्ध शैली है, कुछ उनकी अपनी मौलिकता है।
Spread over an area of 20 acres, historical heritage sites including residence of Mahatma Gandhi and Kasturba, their personal belongings, and the place of worship for all religions have been preserved. President of Harijan Sevak Sangh, Shankar Sanyal, says that school education, yoga, naturopathy, and many more constructive works based on Gandhi's thinking of Satyagraha and Sarvodaya are being carried out even today.
This too is very important. Prarthana in this campus, interfaith Prarthana, and Gandhiji whenever stay here, he used to meet people there. Another is Dharmastambha, another is Kasturba Museum. During that period, Gandhiji and Kasturba used to stay there. This is only museum in the name of Kasturba throughout India. There is a bedding tub, another bed and everything. We preserve it. One Mahadev Desai library collection, about 10,000 rare books and interpretation center, and school for 300 students.
With Divakar, Suparna Saikya for AIR News.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says providing maximum opportunities to the youth is always the BJP's top priority. Addresses party's youth rally virtually at Midday in Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister says government allocated 14,000 crore rupees for national highways in Himachal Pradesh. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to address the UN General Assembly's high-level session tonight. 32 countries, including India, call for urgent and comprehensive reforms in the UN Security Council. President Draupadi Murmu confers NSS Awards 2020-21 at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar expresses confidence on India becoming third largest economy in the world by the end of this decade. Home Minister Amit Shah says Naxalism on the brink of ending in Bihar and Jharkhand regions due to tough fight by Seema Suraksha Bal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in the Man Ki Baat program at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And most successful woman bowler Jhulan Goswami to play her last match at the Lords today as India and England lock horns in the third and last ODI of the series. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कार्यक्रम अभ्यास में भौतिक भूगोल और मानसून पर मैं प्रोफेसर रमाश्रय प्रसाद आ रहा हूं आपके सवालों के जवाब के साथ इस शनिवार रात्रि 9:30 पर। सुनना ना भूलें।
आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
न्यू इंडिया समाचार, नए भारत का संकल्प, सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास। समाज में गरीब और कमजोर तबकों के लिए सरकार की चल रही कल्याणकारी योजनाओं और कार्यक्रमों से जुड़ी जानकारी पाएं। सरकार के इन कदमों के बारे में जानें और लाभ उठाएं। आकाशवाणी पर अब सुनिए जन कल्याण के सरोकार दोपहर 3 बजे से हर शनिवार। सुनिए न्यू इंडिया समाचार आकाशवाणी के साथ।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah today asserted that the border of the country is fully secure. After inaugurating the building of 4 border observation post BOPs at Fatehpur, Paktola, Beria, Amgachi and Raniganj at SSB camp in Kishanganj, Mr. Shah said open border of Nepal is challenging for security personnel. The Union Home Minister asked Seema Suraksha Bal SSB jawans to be vigilant along the border to check infiltration, smuggling and trafficking of humans and animals from Nepal and Bangladesh.
पड़ोस के देशों की सरकारों की कोई बदइरादा न होने के बावजूद समाज में कुछ तत्व ऐसे होते हैं जो खुली सीमा का उपयोग अनधिकृत कमाई के लिए करते हैं। हमारे गांव में रिश्ते, गांव में हमारी सूचनाओं की व्यवस्था, गांव के लोगों के साथ हमारी सेवा के माध्यम से संपर्क, यही सारी चीजें सीमाओं को सुरक्षित कर सकती है। इसलिए सेवा, सुरक्षा और बंधुत्व, ये जो नारा एसएसबी को दिया गया है, जिससे आपको और ज्यादा सजग रहकर करना चाहिए।
The Home Minister said the SSB should adopt the latest technology including drones and CCTVs to ensure perfect security along bordering areas. He said SSB jawans are not only protecting bordering areas but also performing a commendable job to eliminate the Naxal menace in Bihar and Jharkhand.
एसएसबी के जवानों ने देश के पूर्वी क्षेत्र में जो नक्सलवाद फैला था, उसके खिलाफ अनेक बलिदान देकर एक कठोर लड़ाई लड़ने का काम किया है और इसी का सुफल आज ये है कि आज बिहार और झारखंड के क्षेत्र में लगभग नक्सलवाद समाप्त होने के कगार पर आया है। कह भी सकते हैं कि समाप्त हो चुका है।
A meeting on border security between the Home Minister and the Director Generals of BSF, SSB and ITBP is underway at the BSF camp in Kishanganj when reports last came in. Senior officers of border areas are also participating in the meeting. Earlier, Mr. Shah performed puja at the Budhi Kali Mandir in Kishanganj in Bihar. Mr. Shah took part in the Aarti at the temple. He is the first Union Home Minister to have performed the puja at this temple. Before departing to Delhi, Amit Shah will participate in Sundar Subhumi program, which has been organized on the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav at Mata Gujari College in Kishanganj. The Home Minister reached Purnia yesterday on a 2-day visit to Bihar. He addressed Jan Bhavna Sabha at Rangbhumi Maidan. Mr. Shah also held a review meeting with the Bihar BJP Core Committee to chalk out the political strategy in the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow. This will be the 93rd episode of the monthly radio program. The program will be broadcast at 11 a.m. tomorrow on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan, AIR News website and News on AIR mobile app. It will also be live streamed on the YouTube channels of all AIR News, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast.
The Central Bureau of Investigation today carried out searches at 56 locations in 20 states and union territories in connection with cases of circulation of child sexual abuse material online as part of Operation Megha Chakra. After receiving inputs from Interpol and intelligence obtained during last year's Operation Carbon searches were conducted against peddlers of child sexual abuse material on the internet using cloud storage. Operation Carbon was carried out by CBI in November 2021 when raids were conducted at 76 locations across the country and several persons were arrested. The Assam government will engage 2.5 lakh Jal Doot in the state to create awareness on water preservation and related issues. Talking to AIR correspondent, Mission Director Jal Jeevan Mission, Kailash Karthik N informed that students of 9th to 10th standard would be engaged as Jal Doot against each scheme of the mission. He added that the selected students would undergo a 2-day workshop on water, sanitation and health along with community engagement.
We will be able to create through this initiative Jaldoot, and each of them will also interact with the community elders, their parents, try to understand in the villages where were traditional sources in the last 20, 30, 40 years, how things have changed and what impact climate change is leaving on them. So we are hoping that this will create a huge number of climate aware children in the community who will grow up into very responsible citizens.
India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has exceeded 217 crore 41 lakhs till now. The COVID vaccination for the age group of 12 to 14 years started on the 16th of March this year. So far, more than 4 crore 9 lakh adolescents have been administered the first dose of the vaccine. The country's active COVID caseload now stands at 44,436. The recovery rate stands at 98.71%. A total of 5,719 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with a series, Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in the various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. In today's episode, we will bring you the story of initiatives which improved ease of doing business in the country.
The journey of India is moving closer to the global best practices, and the country has successfully scaled greater heights in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business rank. India achieved 63rd position in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business 2020 report. In 2014, the country was ranked 142. India has been in the top 10 for the third time in a row in the list of fastest improving ease of doing business ranking. Senior economic expert Ranjit Mehta says that transformative reforms brought by the government have improved ease of doing business in the country.
India has really done very well in ease of doing business. If you look at the figures in 2014, India was at 142 position in ease of doing business. But today, when you look at the latest report in 2020 released by the World Bank, India has already achieved 63rd position. That means we have jumped around 79 position in ease of doing business. If you just look at it, around 25,000 compliances have been reduced in ease of doing business. And today, if you want to get a construction permit, if I just compare with what was happening in 2014, then we were around 180 out of 190 countries in construction permit. But today, we are 27. Ease of doing business is very important. We really want that foreign investors should come in India and invest in Indian market.
There was a paradigm shift in the approach and strategy of India soon after Prime Minister Narendra Modi took over in 2014. A key part of this strategy was to provide a conducive business environment to attract investments and creation of jobs, economic activity and wealth.
आज का नया भारत नई दुनिया के साथ चलने के लिए तैयार है, तत्पर है। जो भारत कभी विदेशी निवेश से आशंकित था, आज वो हर प्रकार के निवेश का स्वागत कर रहा है। जिस भारत की टैक्स से जुड़ी नीतियों से कभी निवेशकों में निराशा फैल जाती थी, आज उसी भारत में दुनिया का सबसे कॉम्पिटिटिव कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स है और फेसलेस टैक्स सिस्टम भी है। जिस भारत में दस्तावेजों में, कागजों में, कानूनों में उलझाना ब्यूरोक्रेसी की पहचान माना जाता था, वहीं आज ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस रैंक में बड़ी छलांग लगा रहा। जहां कभी कृषि को सिर्फ गुजारे का माध्यम माना जाता था, वहीं अब कृषि में ऐतिहासिक रिफॉर्म्स के जरिए भारतीय किसानों के देश विदेश के मार्केट से सीधे जोड़ने का प्रयास हो रहा है।
India remains one of the most open economies of the world. It is welcoming all global companies to come and establish their presence in the country. Very few countries will offer the kind of opportunities that India does today. Several reforms spanning entire business life cycle have been implemented by various ministries. focus of these reforms has been on reducing the time taken for starting a business, fast-tracking various permissions required by businesses, facilitating faster imports and exports, and speeding up resolution of commercial disputes. Corporate tax has been made competitive globally. The government accumulated the labor laws spread across multiple codes to only 4 labor codes so as to protect the interests of workers as well as to enable quick settlement of labor disputes. Introduction of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of India in 2016 brought a paradigm shift in handling of corporate insolvency. All the states and UTs have been involved in the exercise of improving business environment. Liberalized regulatory regime would boost manufacturing activity, increase confidence of investors, attract investments from across the globe, and contribute to the furthering of Atmanirbhar Bharat vision.
In cricket, the Harmanpreet Kaur-led women's cricket team will take on England in the third and last ODI of the series at the Lords in London today. The match starts at 3:30 p.m. Indian time. It will be an emotional moment for Jhulan Goswami and her fans, as the match will also be a swan song for ace pacer. The 39-year-old fast bowler from West Bengal is among the greatest players India has ever produced.
Roughly 29 years ago, when a lanky 19-year-old girl from Chakdaha donned an Indian jersey, her current teammates Shefali Verma and Richa Ghosh were not even born, and her captain Harmanpreet Kaur was still a kid dreaming of playing for India. At a time when sportspersons have relatively short careers, Jhulan's 2-decade-long journey as a fast bowler is a perfect example of longevity. She was earmarked for a leadership role when she was named the vice-captain of the national team, ahead of the tour of England in 2006. There, she helped India to the Test series win, including their first victory against England. Making a 50 as a night watchman in the first Test at Leicester, she took her career best match figures of 10 for 78, 5 for 33 and 5 for 45 in the second Test at Taunton. Such feats made her the player of the series and also brought recognition at the Castrol Awards in Mumbai in September, where she received a special award. Adding a feather in her cap, she also won the ICC Women's Player of the Year in 2007, a year no Indian male player bagged any individual award. Soon after, she was elevated to the captain of the national team. In 2010, she was conferred with the prestigious Arjuna Award. A Padma Shri followed 2 years later. Apart from pace bowling, Goswami is a more than handy lower-order batsman. Goswami partnered Mithali Raj for a better part of a record-breaking 214 against England at the Taunton in 2002. The pair added 157, with Goswami chipping in with 62. England was also the scene of India's one-off Test win in 2014, where Goswami triggered the hosts' slide with a 4-wicket haul to set up the win. In 2015, she was one of the 4 senior players who were handed the highest grade of central contracts by BCCI for the first time. A veteran of 283 international games for India will play her last match against England at Lords. If the BCCI will institute a Hall of Fame for women's cricket in India, Jhulan Goswami would certainly feature the highest place. In May, she surpassed Catherine Fitzpatrick to become the highest wicket taker in women's ODI history. Now she doubles up as a mentor to a young group of fast bowlers coming through the ranks in India. With PK Ghosh, this is Anuja Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
In men's cricket, India defeated Australia by 6 wickets in the second T20 International at Nagpur last night. Chasing 91 for victory, India scored 92 with 6 wickets in hand and 4 balls to spare. Rohit Sharma's dazzling 46 helped India to level the 3-match series. The third and the final T20 International will be played at Hyderabad tomorrow. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says providing maximum opportunities to the youth is always the BJP's top priority. Addresses party's youth rally virtually at Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. The Prime Minister says government allocated 14,000 crore rupees for the national highways in Himachal Pradesh. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to address the UN General Assembly's high-level session tonight. 32 countries, including India, call for urgent and comprehensive reforms in the UN Security Council. President Draupadi Murmu confers NSS Awards 2020-21 at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar expresses confidence on India becoming the third largest economy in the world by the end of this decade. Home Minister Amit Shah says Naxalism on the brink of ending in Bihar and Jharkhand regions due to tough fight by Seema Suraksha Bal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in the Man Ki Baat program at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And the most successful woman bowler Jhulon Goswami to play her last match at Lord's today as India and England lock horns in the third and last ODI of the series. With that, we end the midday news.